Today, I'm going to offer you a pair of glasses. Would you like to take them? Not any random glasses, but a very special one. Would you like to take them? It's not the famous flashy Ray-Ban glasses, not those types of sunglasses, neither those glasses that you might have been used for watching the solar eclipse or things like that. But again, a very unique pair of glasses. Would you be interested in taking them?
Oh, they're running the whole show.
Wake up! They're all about you, all around you. Blinded us to the truth.
Take a look. They are safe as long as they are not discovered.
I do remember a few months ago that I stumbled upon a short short snippet of a very interesting movie called They Live, which when I digged later on, I noticed that it was such a profound movie, such a classic movie for its time, and unfortunately it's very underrated. So there is this scene where the main character very accidentally finds this very first normal looking pair of glasses out of trashes or somewhere like that, but as soon as he starts putting them on his eyes, something very strange happens. He starts reading and seeing everything quite the opposite of what it really looks like. For example, when he looks at the advertisement signs, billboards, he's able to read things that others are not able. Or when he starts looking at people, he starts noticing that some are different than others. He starts to spot the aliens. And don't be scared, I'm not gonna talk about the scary aliens. This is not about a horror movie, but rather it's about a very profound book, The Millionaire Next Door, which helps us to find those very wealthy aliens just around us that in normal life we might not notice. So the bottom line, the very gist of the book, if I want to summarize in just one sentence, is that live well below than your means. The argument of the book is that many self-made millionaires have reached such accomplishments by living well below their means, meaning that they could have been spending a lot, but rather than that, they had this very discipline that is required to create wealth gradually and just over time. So the authors of this book have written this book, and not just by telling stories or sharing their own gut feelings, but rather based on data and science and surveys. So they have adopted a very methodical and systemic approach, which was a very intriguing aspect for me. That's honestly not a very common theme that you might find in many finance-related books. So they have studied many and many millionaires, and they have noticed that contrary to our very initial assumptions or initial feelings that we might have, it's not that they're living in flashy cars or flashy houses. And that's the very gist of the book, that you need to get into the deeper layers of how actual wealth is created, so that you can have those magical glasses to see and understand the real millionaires, not those who have the surface of wealth. There is a famous saying that it's a quote from Ben Franklin, that he used to say, "The penny saved is the penny earned." or Morgan Housel, the very well-known author of the book Psychology of Money, says wealth is the money that you don't spend. Now, I do understand that many people might have a different view or disagreements. So one might argue that, but what about living my life? What if I'm gonna die the other day? Should I not just enjoy my life right now? Should I not just spend whatever I have right now? So the answer is that that all depends on your own personal preferences. And what also matters is just maintaining a balance between those two sides. There is indeed no contradiction for living and thinking long term and setting goals and being disciplined enough to follow through those long-term goals. Again, I highlight long-term versus short-term. And at the same time to be able to enjoy your life as much as you want. But here again, you need to know yourself, your values, what really brings joy for you. Another criticism about this book is that what about those people who are just lucky? The lottery winners or those who have inherited money, right? It feels very unfair. Did they do it through hard discipline? There was a very famous story that hit the news lines one day in Atlanta that there was this very well-known basketball player that went to a shoe store, I guess maybe it was Nike or something of that nature, and guess how he behaved in the store after, of course, signing a very high number contract. He just bought all the shoes in the store, every single shoe that was available in the store. And obviously enough, he was in an even much more poorer position at the end of his career than the time he started. And that's just very much similar to the case for the lottery winners. That again, there are many studies around this that shows that those who literally and figuratively have become millionaire overnight, they also lose very easy. Another criticism that is that the book is sort of underestimates those who have low income and accumulate wealth. And actually, it's the very principles that this book illustrates and expands on that can become very handy for even people who are in low income positions. Again, a few other lines that I just remembered from the book was that the book was explaining that indeed many high incomers in the United States are not indeed the true wealth creators. For instance, the lawyers or doctors, as their life goes up, as their income goes up, their lifestyle also goes up. So that's the idea of lifestyle inflation that we all need to avoid. I'm gonna leave you with a few questions. How you are going to apply these principles in your life? What are some small habits that you might start adopting and applying today that might change your life in 5 years? Thank you very much and see you in the next video.